Hey guys, so this is going to be a little bit of a different video today because this is my 100th video on this YouTube channel. Now, granted, not all of those videos are stitching related, like less than half of them are, but it still counts. So today, to mark that occasion, I am going to try embroidery for the first time with you. So let me show you what I chose to work on. I also have to apologize if you can hear any banging or thumping. Our roof is being reshingled right now. Just the best time for that to happen. Also on my days off, so I couldn't really sleep in. But whatever, I'm not bitter at all. So I mentioned in a previous video that I did a little bit of hauling from September House, which is an Etsy shop. And I purchased some relatively simple embroidery patterns to try, but I couldn't show them to you then because I hadn't printed any of them off. Well, I chose the one I wanted to do, and I will show you. So I'll link the Etsy shop down below. As I said, I picked some really simple ones. This first one I'm going to do doesn't even have any filling stitches in it because those kind of freak me out. So it's mostly just like French knots and backstitch. But I am doing Festive Flock. And I am going to be doing this guy here, this dove. So it's just a little dove, going to be chilling in a hoop. So the excellent thing about September House is that they give you 2 different sizes of the pattern that you want, and they also give you the reversed images and the correct way around images, so you can choose whichever way you want to do them. So here's another little look at my little guy that I'm going to do. I am using transfer paper to transfer this onto my fabric. So the transfer paper I bought is this. It's from my Michaels. It's this Jolie's Easy Image. I picked the light fabrics one. I don't know. There's only 10 sheets in here, and it was like not super cheap, so. But I have an issue with other transfer methods. Like this is gonna work the best, I think, as opposed to like tracing it, or I don't know. I just want it to be. I want the outline to look the way it's supposed to look. So that's what I'm using. I printed out. Sorry, that sheet I just showed you with the pattern on it. I printed that out on my transfer paper, and I picked the bigger reverse image to do. Bigger, it's like 4 inches, which is great. So I actually still have it attached to my fabric, the transfer. I just finished ironing it a few minutes ago, and I'm supposed to wait until it's completely cool to remove it, so we're gonna do that together in a second, and hopefully that worked. If you've never transferred images to fabric before, like me, this was kind of intimidating because what you're supposed to do is iron it on a very hard surface for a very long time at the highest heat setting with no steam. So, and we have a very old iron, so I was sure I was going to burn the house down when I was doing this. So I probably could have like cooked it a little longer, but I didn't because it just freaked me out. So yeah, the instructions are that came with the transfer paper are pretty easy to follow. There's only 2 steps. Just make sure that you print the image on the correct side, the transfer side. So if you're like me, you had to think of like which way your printer feeds the paper, and you had to put it in upside down. And then once you put it on your fabric, you use firm, steady pressure, holding the iron in both hands and applying ample body weight. See why I thought I was going to burn the house down? Glide the iron very slowly over each area of the entire transfer, covering all areas and corners for about 90 to 120 seconds total. I did not do that. For smaller transfer shapes, iron for about 40 to 60 seconds overall. Okay, that's more like what I did because so much heat, so many horrible things that could happen. So the last step is the liner must be removed when cooled completely. Wait for the transfer to cool for at least 2 minutes and then remove the backing paper. And this thing was smoking hot, so I'm just gonna let it hang out for a second while I show you the rest of my materials, and then we're gonna have that little moment of truth together. So the thing I really like about September House, this Etsy shop, is that she gives you sets of patterns, so you're not just playing, sorry, you're not just paying for one image, like you usually get 3 or 4 that are kind of thematically similar. And I bought some really nice ones, and they're a little more complicated. Like I said, filling stitches are the ones that tend to freak me out for some reason. But we're gonna build up to that. And even looking at this one that I chose now, the dove, it's not very complicated. So I hope you're not disappointed that I picked a really, really easy one. So I'll show you the colors. I have a 5-inch hoop that this is gonna fit in. My instinct would be just to like hold it in my hand and stitch on it, but I know you typically use hoops or frames for embroidery, so I'm gonna do that. And the colors that it requires are white, 30, oh my god, 3364, 729, and 3768. And that's it for the dove. So, I think that's it. I'm gonna try and pull this transfer paper off. Oh, the fabric I chose is 35 count antique lamb's wool linen. I just got this in a recent haul. I only bought really small pieces. This is a 9x13, so I'll be able to get 2 birds out of this sheet if I decide to stitch more from this set. So that's the fabric I used. I think that's it. Okay, I'm gonna try and pull this transfer paper off, and it had better work, or I don't know, this video is gonna be lost to the ages. Ah! It worked! Okay, so that is my little dove. Oh, I can't believe that worked. That is amazing. Okay, I'm so happy about that. I am going to get this in the hoop, and I'm also gonna maybe, I think I mentioned this, but this Etsy shop doesn't give you any stitch guides. They just do, I don't know how much of this I can show. Corinne, I think, is the owner of this Etsy shop. Corinne, I hope it's okay that I'm showing this much, but I really like your shop, so I'm hoping that, you know, more people will check it out. So what she does, so this is the little dove guy on the bottom, is she just tells you what stitch is what. So I am probably gonna get my like stitch encyclopedia out just to make sure I know what I'm doing. And I'm gonna hoop this up, and then I will be back in a second. Alright guys, so I have my pattern in my hoop. I have 2 strands of thread, which is what she recommends, and I'm just going to start by back stitching around the whole outline. I'm not sure I mentioned this, but this transfer method is just kind of a stopgap for me. At this point I'm too lazy to put in the work of like finding an actual method that works for me, like because this is obviously gonna leave like a transfer on your pattern. So we'll see once this is done if I can like pull the transfer off, or it might not matter. Like I said, this is just my first time, so I'm not super concerned with that, but just so I make note of it. And all right, I have a podcast all ready to go so I can listen to something as I try to do this. And also I have the September House shop photo of like the item up on my screen so I can freak out if it doesn't look as good. And here we go. Alright, so I have fully backstitched the little inner circle, and I am just going back up and around to do the bigger outline. Here's the back for proof. Okay, so I have finished the blue outline. There's some little French knots up in there too. There's the back. And I think I'm going to do the yellow bits next, which are like the other ring and this thing at the bottom, because yeah, I'm least scared of the yellow bits. So we're gonna do that next. Okay, so we are nearing the home stretch. I have all the yellow in. And I just have this green part to do down here, backstitch, some lazy daisies, and then a French knot, and then the dove in white. This is the reason I don't normally stitch down here, because I keep losing everything. Losing thread, I just lost my needle. All right, I had to go get another needle because one has disappeared into the black hole that is my room or my clothes or my floor or something. I've eaten 3 cookies and I hate lazy daisies. But I mean, I think they look okay. So those are my green lazy daisies. As I said, I mean, the iron-on transfer is not going to be the best because I can't cover necessarily all of the transfer, and I also can't really take it off. It's starting to flake down at the bottom here though, so I might just pull off like the outer bit and just leave everything in the middle. I mean, this is my first embroidery, so I don't think it's going to go on the wall really, but something to keep in mind. So all I have left now to do is the dove in the middle. What did I just say? There's a needle sitting on my pants. And I don't know how that's possible because I stood up when this was still missing and like shook my clothes and looked on the floor. And I have 2 needles now. What? Hi, Booger. Coming to check everything out. The guys on the roof freaking you out. I bet they are. Now come here. Come here and say hi. Yeah. I know, you're so freaked out. Say hello! I'm still as big as you remember. Will you let me stitch? 'Cause I'm so close to the end. Or is that not a good idea? Let's just see. Hey, no. All right, attempt 1 at embroidery is done. This is the little dove that I made. I'll give you a nice close-up so you can point out all my mistakes. I think I did an okay job. I would give myself a C. A B. Let's call it a B. I think I will be able to do like a serviceable job embroidering what I wanted to embroider for my friend's wedding in a month, and I definitely have time to practice. So yeah, this is my first embroidery. I'll link the Etsy shop down below. As I mentioned, September House. I have a lot more patterns from her that I would like to try. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you try something new today or think about trying something new. And I will see you guys in the next one. Number 100. Number 100 is this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.